Hi, I'm Scott Olson with FounderBuzz, and I'm here today with Sean Wilson from Fullsteam Brewery. Thanks for being with us today, Sean.
Of course, it's an honor to speak with you, Scott.
I've read a little bit about your company, but why don't you introduce yourself and your business to our audience?
Sure thing. We're Fullsteam Brewery here in Durham, North Carolina. We are focusing on this idea of doing a Southern-style brewery using local farmed ingredients and agricultural and farming traditions of the South to try to come up and explore with this idea of a distinctly Southern beer. So we're experimenting with ingredients like sweet potatoes, scuppernong grapes, persimmons, even kudzu, and just having a lot of fun in the process. We also have some traditional beers too.
Right, and so do you just sell the beer, or do you also run a bar?
We do both. In North Carolina, we're very lucky to have great beer laws that allow us to sell our own product on site as well as distribute our own product. So we both self-distribute, and we have an on-site tavern that we call Fullsteam R&D. And right now, the R&D accounts for about 60% of our total revenue, but we hope to scale as a production brewery and ultimately have that be an important part, but a smaller part of our bottom line.
Great. Well, one thing that caught my eye as I was taking a look at your business was that you've got well over 6,000 Twitter followers, and for a brewery, you're obviously engaged in social media. So how'd that happen?
We were just really lucky. I went to a marketing conference a couple of years ago, and it was actually in '07, so a number of years ago now. And the lecturer said, "How many of you folks have heard of Twitter?" And maybe one hand out of 50, two hands went up, and I had never heard of it before. And I just kind of lucked out by catching on early to this emerging media, and I think that's been Fullsteam's story as we've built out this brewery. We're only 7 months old. Our launch coincided nicely with the mainstream acceptance of social media, and we ended up telling a story of our build out, our process, our ideas, our trials and tribulations, and engaging the audience as we rolled out, instead of being in kind of cloak and dagger or being closed off and then opening the doors and saying, here we are. We actually built I wouldn't say necessarily a following, but an audience and some intrigue as we were in that year-long build-out.
And did you do that exclusively through Twitter, or do you also maintain a Facebook page and a blog and stuff like that?
All of the above.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty important to diversify the audience and how people like to interact with you, and actually that goes down to the tactical level, where I won't just necessarily feed everything from Twitter into Facebook, but I'll tweak the message a little bit, change it. I'll do some little links, the @ sign and all of that in Facebook. There's a lot of overlap, but I try to customize it for each sort of the customer experience, if you will. Twitter doesn't speak the same way as Facebook, nor does our blog or newsletter.
Right.
I'd say of all of those things, the thing that I've struggled to keep up with is our newsletter, which we have maybe 3,000 subscribers. Facebook and Twitter have just been such an amazing resource for us that I find myself not utilizing email marketing as much as I once did.
Right. Well, it seems like it's been very effective on the social media side, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs and other business people that check out this site. Do you have a piece of advice for them? Maybe one thing to do and one thing not to do as they look to engage in social media.
I think they're probably intertwined. The one thing not to do for me is to treat social media like an extension of your PR efforts. And for the most part, I would say 99% of people agree with me on that. I get the occasional 1% that says your tweets are too personal. I just want to know what's going on, what new beers you have, what specials you have. That happens on such rare occasion, but it comes up and it's just shocking to me, because it's like, really, you just want a regurgitation of what everything, what everybody else does and what every other channel is. It's social for a reason, right? It's about engaging. So the what not to do and what to do are kind of intertwined. For me, what not to do is to treat it like an extension of your PR and make it boring and rote. And what to do is engage people, be social, have fun, and let your personality shine through, and let a little bit of you that the human element come through in what you do. And I think sometimes people are so busy and they expect communication to be one style that if you give them just something a little different, a little more interest, a little intrigue, some things that if you warn them aren't actually related to beer, but you might find this interesting. Yeah. And just a creative spark or two. I think no matter what industry you're in, that tends to really differentiate yourself from the competition or from other people who happen to be in social media.
Yeah, I mean, essentially be authentic and interesting. I think it's kind of what it boils down to.
Authenticity, interest, creativity, and fun. It's what we hope we're doing at Fullsteam, and it's been fun to be the personality and to develop the brewery and the beer brand in the process. Right now, I am at Fullsteam. It's me, the owner. Right. I'm also the head of the brewery and kind of the spokesperson for the brewery, but it really comes down to me and my quirks and the things that interest me, and it's a sort of a glimpse into my personality, which also is a part of the brewery itself, right back there.
Yeah. Well, Sean, I really appreciate you taking the time to share your experiences today.
Thanks for asking me. Looking forward to seeing you here in Durham. Maybe a little reunion or something like that.
Yeah.
Go Duke, right?
Yeah, go Duke. That's exactly right. Hope they do well in the tournament. Thanks a lot.
There we go. Now we just lost 90% of the audience right there. Yeah, they were cheering us on until I said Duke, but I went there for med school. So
that's right.
That's
right. Well, thanks again, Sean.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.